What's up, carnivores? Zach here with American Smoke. Do you ever want barbecue, have something ready, if you're like me, thaw it out, and then before you know it, you've waited just a little bit too late to put it in the smoker, and you think, man, this is gonna be, I can't do it right, and get it right, and have it done at the right time. Well, that's my situation that I'm in today. I've waited a little bit too late. I wanted some baby back ribs for dinner, around 6:30, 7 o'clock, hopefully at the latest. And I've waited a little bit too late. It's after 3 already. And so we're gonna have to see what we can do with these baby backs. We're gonna have to do a little method that I'm coming up with in my head as we speak. And we're gonna see, is it a good method for this sort of problem? Let's go ahead. We got some Prairie Fresh baby back ribs. We're just gonna get these out of the package, get them seasoned up, and get them ready for the smoker. If y'all hear a little bit of wind in the microphone today, I've lost my little fuzzy things. I had 2 of them, I don't know where they went. But somehow they do a fantastic job of getting rid of the wind sounds. And the wind has found out that I don't have them, and it is blowing like crazy. There's also one of my neighbor's dog that's just, it loves to bark, I guess it's a dog. There's only so much that you can do. You probably get your butt whooped for digging holes. Nobody wants to play fetch with you. Might as well just sit around and bark all day, right? All right, so we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna get this membrane off of these baby backs. If you don't know, get you a paper towel, we'll start on one end, or you can dig underneath the middle, pull it off there. Baby backs come off pretty easily, most of the time. These baby backs were frozen, and then they were put in the fridge for maybe 3 days to thaw. It's a great method, by the way, if you don't know that. Get your membrane off. Get your hands dried off as best as you can. And yeah, I don't have on gloves, and yeah, I don't worry about that too much. If I'm feeding people, doing food prep on dishes, I do, but for my cooks, not nearly as much. I never even owned any gloves before I got started doing YouTube. So now that we've got the membrane off, let's go ahead and fire the smoker up and let it start warming up. We're burning a mixture of hickory blend and charcoal pellets. Hickory smoked baby backs. That's what I'm talking about. Start it up, Zach. It's gonna run on Camp Chef's high smoke setting, 220. It's gonna put off a little extra smoke flavor. Since we're trying to do these fast, what I'm thinking is I start off for an hour, super smoke, heavy smoke. We're probably gonna throw some chunks into the secondary burn pot as well. If you're using a different brand of smoker or a vertical smoker, this would be smoke tube situation. So we're cooking a little extra low on the temp for the first hour with a smoke tube. We're gonna pound some smoke onto these ribs, get it on there really nicely. I'm not going with any binder because I'm just getting away from binders. I don't know. I learned a lot of my barbecue from competition guys, the big dogs that are cooking for the competition judges that have it a very particular way that they like it. And what I have found as a backyard cook is that, man, you ain't got to do all that. You can do all that and you'll get a good product, but you ain't got to do all that. Trust old Zach. You don't have to. And honestly, the less you put on your barbecue, the more smoke penetration and flavor you get. And when you're dealing with pellet smokers, if you've been dealing with them for very long, you know that one of the concerns with pellet smoker barbecue, it's the smoke flavor, the smoke penetration. Why am I not getting more than I'm getting, Zach? And so go a little lighter on your seasonings, go a little lighter on your binders and things like that, and you're gonna get more. And so this is just kind of like Texas style with the little garlic. So salt, pepper with a little garlic. Nothing wrong with that at all. All right, so that was easy. Got my ribs seasoned up, ready to go. My smoker's coming up to temp. I need to open this up so it doesn't explode. It's important. And while that is getting fired up, we're just gonna let these sweat on. And once it gets to the point where I can close it, we're going straight into the smoker with the ribs. From 0 all the way up to 220. These are gonna be in the smoke. We've got a little bit of smoke starting to roll. It doesn't take long on the Camp Chef. If you're considering a Camp Chef, by the way, I highly recommend it. You know, they're mid-range on the price as far as pellet smokers. They're in between, you know, the low of the cheaper Pit Bosses and off-brand smokers and the high of like your Rectex and your Yoder smokers, things like that. And man, I've really liked my Camp Chef. Y'all are probably noticing that we're not getting a lot of angle changes and things like that. I ain't about it today. I ain't about it. We're just gonna do a simple video, simple cook. I'm already behind, and so my little fuzzy things are missing from my sound mic. Ooh, that smoke smells good. Let's go and get these ribs in it. I always remind you, but make sure to bunch up your ribs. We're gonna wait to see that smoke clear up. And once it clears up a little bit, which usually takes maybe 2 minutes, 3 minutes sometimes, maybe a little more, but usually, you know, it's already starting to clear up. Once it clears up, shut the lid down. You don't have to worry about that explosion situation happening anymore. If you've never seen that, look it up. Look up pellet smoker explosion. Okay, so we can close this down now, let it start coming up to temp. I'm gonna set my timer for 1 hour. Let's go ahead and get some wood chunks to put in that burn pot. All right, so I've got some hickory chunks that we're gonna be putting in here as well. Uh-oh. Put as many in there as you can. Like I said, if this is a different type of smoker than what you've got, this is gonna be where you get your smoke tube involved. If you don't have a smoke tube, then look for your smoke settings. If you don't have smoke settings, then just run it at a lower temperature for the first hour. Lower temperatures produce more smoke. Close that up. Turn the heat to it, let those chunks come up to a nice smolder. So we're about an hour in, running a smooth 222, right there where we're supposed to be. Gonna open it up, give it a spritz, and crank up the temp. So in just 1 hour's time, you can see we've taken on a lot of color. A lot of smoke. If you got your smoke tube in, you know, it's done its job. Let's go ahead, hit this up with a little bit of apple cider vinegar. This is just straight apple cider vinegar. I just want to add that little bit of a twang to it and help the smoke bond to what is now the dried outside of the ribs. That looks good. Close her back up. And we're gonna crank the temp up to 275 degrees. If you've got a Pit Boss, that'll be 270 or 280, whichever you prefer. We're just going higher. Set temp. And we're going to go and set smoke. If you've got a smoke tube, that means your smoke tube's still in there. I'm going to turn that smoke all the way up. There will be more temperature fluctuations, but more smoke. Let's check our wood chunk. I did put one more in there. All right, so we got that going good. Okay, so we are at the 2 hour mark. 1 hour, low and slow, high smoke. Second hour, 275, hot and fast. I've got a double layer of heavy duty foil laid down and a few pats of butter. We're gonna get these out, get them meat side down into that butter. All right, so we've already got good color. Not the darkest color, but good color. Not bad for fast ribs. And then we've got already some pullback on the bone, so this should work out pretty nicely. Maintain our heat. And I've got 4 pats of butter in there. And we're just gonna boat this up a little bit. And I'm gonna take some of my apple cider vinegar out of my sprayer. And we're gonna pour just a few teaspoons of that in there. Not too much. Just to get that vinegar kick and also help steam the ribs inside the foil. You want to sort of get this tight around the ribs. That way you get that steaming effect, get the faster cook. We're just doing a double layer so that we've got more steam, less steam escaping. You also have less of a chance of one of your bones poking through and letting your steam out. Make sure it's nice and tight. These are ready to go back in. All right, and since we're no longer worried about smoke penetration, we're already burning hot, which is less smoke, and then we've got wrapped in foil, so that means no smoke. So what we're gonna do now is we're gonna crank the temperature up to 300 degrees for the last hour. I'm also turning my smoke setting down to the lowest setting. That way I've got more consistent temperatures because we're not worried about smoke at this point. We'll be back in an hour. It's been a fun little cook. Come down to the wire. My wife's got turnip greens and whole corn on top of the stove warming up. Gonna have some delicious ribs to go with it. Pretty pumped. All right, so while we're saucing these, I am going to turn down the heat on my smoker back down to around 225 or so. Let some of that heat out. I don't want my sauce to burn. I just want it to, over about 30 minutes, to tack up, caramelize a little bit, thicken up. Let's get these out of here, see what it do. Foil's nice and hot. Oh yeah, baby. For 3 hours, we got some nice pullback on the bones. Great color. Looks really good. What we're gonna do is we're just gonna see if we can separate these 2 layers of foil here. And I'm gonna have to have these. They feel super tender already, so get out of that juice, baby. Get it out of the juice. And now my gloves are so slick, I can't get them off. Okay, we got it figured out. Overcome. Y'all know how it is. All right, so we will be saucing both sides of this rack. We want this delicious flavor all over these things. Y'all have got to try some of this stuff. It is so good on wings. I've not had it on ribs yet. Holla at Blues Hog, man. Y'all hook me up with some more of y'all stuff. Man, I don't mind going and buying it myself, but you know, free just has its own special taste. Y'all know what's up. Y'all know what's up with that free. Gonna sauce. We're gonna set. We're gonna rest. And we're gonna eat. Smell of that is so good. The smell of that is so good. So we cooked a little bit of our bark off right there. That happens though whenever you cook in full with the butter up underneath it. You're gonna boil some of your bark. That's okay though. That's gonna set back up right now. That's the reason you take it out of the foil and you set the sauce. You know what? That just looks mighty fun. Mighty fun. All right, so back into the smoker. This is gonna be messy, messy, messy. Y'all tell me what that line's from. I'll owe you a quarter. All right, here we go. There she blows, 30 more minutes. All right, so we're about 15 minutes into this set. Ooh, mama, look at that. This Blues Hog sauce got a little thin whenever I put it on the heat, and so I wanted to make sure and get a nice caramelization, so we're gonna hit it up one more time. When it comes to a set sauce, man, sometimes it's better to have too much than not enough. Y'all give me an amen down in the comments if sometimes you like saucy ribs. Not always, but sometimes. All right, so we've officially made it to the end of the cook, clocking in at about 3.5 hours. Man, that's not bad for a set of baby backs if we nailed it. And so we're finna find out if we nailed it or not. I know they're pretty. They were pretty before I put the second glaze on them, so you know, they own it right now. Good Lord. Good Lord. Y'all, look at that. Are you talking about raspberry chipotle? Thought I had waited too long. Wasn't gonna be able to have ribs tonight, and I'm gonna have stellar ribs. Stellar ribs. Good God. We're gonna let these rest for just a minute, not long. Then we're gonna cut into them and see what they do. This is the real deal. The real deal. Good God Almighty. We gotta cut one out. Ooh, ooh, ooh. They're kind of floppy. Like you like it. Oh my gosh. Nice pull back on those bones. Cutting super tender. Super tender. We're gonna get one right out of the middle. Big fat rib from getting the meat on both sides. Oh, what y'all talking about, baby? What you talking about? Golly. 3.5 hour baby backs. Just the color, the glisten, the shine, the juice. 3.5 hours. Get out of town. Oh. I don't know about y'all, but I'm pretty pumped about this. Pretty pumped. Get that bite. All right, so who can guess if Zach is excited about this bite or not? Just pick C. Just pick C. That's always the right answer. Just pick C. Oh man, it looks so stellar. Let's get it. Good Lord, man. You gotta go back. Butter. 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 Getting cold. I like it. Oh my gosh. One more test just to be sure. Absolute butter. I gotta get a napkin. That is so fire. That is so fire. Holy crap. Look, like I said earlier in the video, I learned barbecue from the competition guys who had channels, you know, and I learned and I did everything that they said to do, and I made some killer barbecue. And as time has went on, as is tradition, I have gotten more comfortable, a little bit more lazy, and tried to do things in a different way. And things like this just show me that, man, you don't have to cook competition style barbecue to make better barbecue than you can get at most local restaurants. I said what I said. I said what I said. I can't stop myself. And people will say, you think that's good, you should try making your own sauce. But look, this is so easy. And it's fire. Easy method, easy ribs, easy sauce, easy seasoning. These are professionals that already took care of all the hard work. And I had to spend a couple more dollars than I would have if I would have made it on my own. Whatever. I ain't eating out at a barbecue restaurant, so guess what? I'm still coming out on top. Because I don't know what they're charging for a full rack of baby backs at restaurants nowadays, but it sure ain't $13. Man, that's fire. Guys, I hope you like this method. I know I do. I'll be using it probably from now on. Especially, you know, when I want ribs and I don't want to wait 6 hours. I just want to wait 3.5 hours. And it ain't going to get no better. I mean, maybe a competition judge might say that is, you know, I don't know. I've never been to a competition, so I don't know. That might win the competition. It's so good. I don't know. But anyway, guys, thanks so much for sticking around, watching this video. If you have any requests for content, let me know. I probably won't be able to get to it, but I'll try. I'm very busy. I'm a dad of 3, and I don't know. I spend most of my time interacting with people on my Facebook group because that's easy and quick. American Smoked Carnivores. Y'all come check it out sometime. Thank you so much for watching. Smoke on, and I'll see y'all in the next video. Dear Lord. That was ridiculous.